This is Danielle Walker doing chemistry lab number 7, chromatography of food dyes. This experiment allows students to understand and witness how various chemical solutions can be separated in order to conclude which food dyes appear in certain foods. It will ultimately show students how these particular mixtures can be separated. The separation of these solutions is dependent on the size and polarity of each compound. It can be hypothesized that the blue dye will travel at a quicker rate than the other colors. Most of the dyes used in this experiment will be polar and have great solubility when exposed to water. The more polar of the solutions will be absorbed more readily with the salted water paper, thereby allowing it to define allowing us to define that slower moving solutions are more polar. Next, we add a pinch of salt into the 50 milliliter beaker of warm water and use 2 pieces of filter paper from the lab pack and draw a line across the bottom of the paper. This line should be faint in appearance. From there, draw 9 lines vertically across the previously mentioned line. I have Paul. I have random words like Paul in my packet. Lab Paul. This sentence completely doesn't make sense.
Nice. I can type it in like size 24 font too.
Oh, I always do.
Really?
Yeah, I like big stuff. Yeah.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, I think it was what she said. For each color of dye that is to be tested, place a few drops into the 24 well plate. After that, dip a toothpick into the dye and place it on the marked paper. Form the marked paper into a cylinder so that the edges simply touch but do not overlap each other, and hold it together with the use of a stapler. After this, cover the bottom of the petri dish with salt water to the depth of approximately half a centimeter. Place the dye cylinder into the eluting chamber. Students, just because you didn't do yours doesn't mean you have to ruin mine. Students will quickly witness David.
Or witness what? Does it go on YouTube?
The solvent moving up along the paper. From here, the data gathered should be recorded by the student. Data and analysis. From this experiment, it can be concluded that a pencil versus a paper, versus a pen, should be used to draw the baseline of the chromatography paper, because the ink from the pen will bleed, affecting the accuracy of the experiment. It is also important to stop the chromatograph before the solvent reaches the top of the paper, because it will cause the compound to diffuse. In this experiment, it should be noted that students should keep the dye spots above solvent levels because it will help eliminate evaporation and the spots will run off. The practical application of this
I didn't do that.
is that chromatography is a method by which components of complex mixtures can be separated very efficiently.
I didn't do that.
When they are separated, it is much easier to identify them and to determine their concentration in the original mixture. Chromatography is also used to purify desired components of a complex mixture, as in the pharmaceutical industry, so that safe and highly effective products result. It is used as a diagnostic and analytical tool by doctors, scientists, and forensic technicians.
She had a meltdown there. Video.
The blue dye, number 1, traveled a distance of 45 milliliters. The blue, number 2, went 20 millimeters,
There's
red
no way
number
I'm
3,
above a 91
went 7
to keep it in.
millimeters, and the red
So,
number 4
I figured
went
why not
15
just accept the B,
millimeters
that
as
idea.
well.
I'd be happy with